Cool. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. All right, how's it going, dude?
Good, man. How about you?
Good, good, good. Hey, so we're thinking about today's interview for Up All Night with a tattoo artist. I got Alec here from what tattoo parlor you work at, my man?
Right now I'm working at Revolution Tattoo Parlor in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Cool, cool. How long you been working there?
I'd say now it's been like a couple months.
Nice,
Not like a super long time.
nice, nice. And
Yeah,
you
maybe
get
like 4 or 5 months.
cool, cool. And you get to travel all over the world, right? Tattooing people. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I love to do traveling. If somebody asks me to, tattoo at their studio or do a guest spot, or if I see a convention that's worth visiting, I'll go and visit other places, and try to network with other artists, stuff like that.
Nice, very nice. What made you want to get into tattooing? How did this all? How did you? What made you start wanting to be a tattoo artist?
Oh man. Am I allowed to smoke, by the way?
Dude, I don't care. Go for it. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. Whatever,
I'm
bro.
gonna go out on my patio periodically. I'd say so I've been tattooing now for about 15 years or so.
Hell yeah.
And the initial draw of it for me was like, I guess I had tattoos. I had friends that had tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it looked good on people.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And I was doing art at the time, but I couldn't really sell any of my art at the time, like any of my paintings or like things like that. Because, yeah, I mean, I guess I really probably wasn't as good at art at that point in my life either, But yeah, so I put 2 and 2 together. I had some friends that were like apprenticing to be a tattoo artist, and I saw them doing it. And I thought, after getting a tattoo from one of my friends, kind of clicked in my head, that it was something that I wanted to do for other people.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And what was your first so? Go ahead. You were saying is there like so you're saying that there's an apprenticeship? So are you guys union or how does that work? Is this a union or do you guys work as is there like something like
I believe there's people trying to organize stuff like that. I don't really know anything about that as much. As far as tattooing goes, I feel like it's not really like a union trade, it never was meant to be something like that. I feel like tattooing is it's more so just like about freedom, being able to be yourself and stuff like that. And like originally it was for like a counterculture purpose, like more of the purpose that I got into it, like listening to punk rock, skateboarding, all the things that go with it. And to get into it, to apprentice, basically you just get a portfolio of your art together,
Cool.
pieces you like, pieces that you think are passable as tattoos, and you make a big portfolio and you go to an artist that you really like and get their advice, or you go to a shop you really like and ask them if they'd be willing to apprentice you. But it's definitely easier now to get an apprenticeship than it was when I started tattooing 15 years ago.
Okay.
When I started tattooing, it was like it was a lot different. That was like when Instagram just came out.
Holy shit.
So it wasn't when like the whole social media thing wasn't like the goal. I mean, like there were TV shows with tattoo artists on it at the time. Like Miami Ink came out, and then tattooing started to get really popular, and people started to get like kind of different ideas about tattooing. It's like when reality TV gets a hold of anything, it just kind of like almost like just completely changes the face of it. You know what I'm saying?
It just
I think that's what a lot of people are kind of like dealing with now. It's like kind of like a little divided, I guess, between like older and younger generations of tattooers, because it is easier to get an apprenticeship now for sure. And when I asked for an apprenticeship, I asked pretty much like every shop in town. Everyone said no.
Damn.
That's when I got back into trying to do other stuff. I went to school at one point to become an EMT. I got nationally and state certified.
Nice.
And then I couldn't like really keep it together with my own life to like think that was like a good decision. Like when I started tattooing, I started doing it like out of my parents' house. I was just like a punk delinquent kid, just tattooing all my homies that like we would like drink and smoke weed at the skate park and then be like, hey, let's go to someone's house and give each other shitty tattoos, and then like eventually, somebody like would ask me, to just do one regularly, the first tattoo I ever did was on my homie. We called him Chavez, and it was a smiley face with sunglasses, and I messed up on the outside of one of the circles, so I asked him if I could give him headphones, and he was like, yeah, sure. So it was a smiley face wearing sunglasses and headphones. And yeah, man, after that I was just like giving them out for free for a minute, practicing on friends. And then I started to learn more about it from friends of mine that like we used to work in shops, but we're then doing it privately. And then I just kept doing it kind of on the side for like $30 here or there, or like some cigarettes, energy drinks, just like extra little pocket money stuff. And I was dating this chick who had like a bunch of really awesome tattoos. She was more tattooed than me, and she had like a bunch of tattoos from like award-winning traditional tattoo artists in Chicago. And she was like, you know what, your tattoos don't really look that ghetto anymore. You should try and do that again and look for an apprenticeship again. Kind of like a backhanded compliment, I guess, but so I tried again, and I looked for an apprenticeship again, and everywhere said no. So then I was like, I'm just gonna go to like, a spot where like, I don't know. It's not like it had like the best reputation, I guess. But I went to this tattoo shop and I asked them for an apprenticeship, and by that point I was already tattooed up to here. I had my whole throat tattooed and all that, and they said, we aren't doing apprenticeships, but we are looking for an artist. Are you already tattooing? And I was like, I mean, I know I'm not supposed to tell you that I am, but yeah, I'm tattooing. And then he said, can we see some pictures of some of your stuff? And then I showed him pictures, and he said, let me show the owner really quick, man. And then he went downstairs, came back up, and he was like, yeah, man, I mean, you're almost there. If you want to bring somebody by, the owner said, to do like a tryout piece to see what you can do and how you go through your process, so we can just like see what you're doing, and then we can go from there. And I was like, sure. And so I brought in a friend. I did a rose on him, a traditional rose with a banner that said mom. And I remember after I did it, some of the artists in the shop all came to look at it, and one of them was like, "So do you only do traditional?" And I was like, "Well, I've never worked in a shop before. I mean, I don't know. I'll do whatever people want, I guess."
Yeah.
And then he just kind of was like, you know, a little bit taken back. He was surprised. And the manager was like, "Yeah, no, it actually looked really decent, man. If you want, you can just hang out for the rest of the day." And I was like, "What does that mean?" And she's like, "You got the job." And so that's how I broke into the industry and got my foot in the door. I just got fed to the lions right away, you know?
Hell yeah.
The owner told me that like the other artists there were going to help me out if I needed to know anything. And it was like kind of a rough start at first, and no one really did help me out. But then I started to get tattooed by some of the artists and like get to know them a little bit more. And then next thing you know, they were helping me out a little bit more. But yeah, man, that shop went under within the first year.
Damn.
So I only worked at that shop for like a year, and I left and I moved to California. And I was growing weed in California. I wasn't tattooing.
Fuck yeah.
I was doing it out of like the person's house or whatever. And then after the season was over, I moved back to Illinois and started tattooing at a different shop that the other artists at the shop I was at before had opened in the city. It was called Mortal Canvas at the time.
Okay.
And then bounced back to California. Tattooed in California then, and then that the second time I went back to California, I actually tattooed in California. That's when I really learned kind of a lot more and like got a way better understanding of like just technical application, just packing solid color, that type of stuff. And that was when I worked at a shop that was very briefly open called Ink Expressed, and that was in Grass Valley, California.
Nice.
And the owner of that shop was Monikai Kilborn, who is a Hawaiian native, and he was like incredibly good at Polynesian tribal. Like he'll just draw a couple lines on somebody's arm and then just tribal it all out, I guess, because he's been drawing that like almost his whole life, you know?
That was like his style. That was like...
Yeah. It's not just his style, it's his culture, man. Like, some Hawaiian people that, you know, especially around tattoo culture, it's just like, it's not like just a job for them. Like that's their heritage and their culture in their eyes, you know? Like,
well, in a way,
tattoos a lot more seriously, I guess, you know?
Yeah. Well, in a way, that's, I mean, that like...
He had his whole face tattooed, you know? But he didn't get to choose any of the tattoos, you know?
Oh, so they like tattoo their face.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like they tattoo their face as like a culture. It's almost like, right?
Rites of passage.
Oh, dude, that's sick, dude. That's
like a rites of passage. Like he's becoming a man type thing, you know? I guess.
That's awesome.
I'm not like 100% on that. Don't quote me on it, but it's basically like that. But yeah, cool. He didn't get to like choose it. But I mean, yeah, he helped me out a lot, man. He helped me out a lot. And then from there, I bounced back to Illinois, and then that's when I really started kind of doing the nomad thing. And I got a little bit farther with tattooing for sure.
Did you... That's sick, Alex. So you basically started from like the ground up, and then like you were thrown to the wolves. That's badass. How long was that entire process from like headphones, smiley face tattoo till like legit like in how long do you think that whole process was?
I think like there was like a year-ish, a little bit under a year, that I was tattooing privately, just like kind of running in a circle, no idea what the fuck I was doing, fucking up people's tattoos, like Honestly, like I was at like a really low point in my life anyways.
We've all been there.
And like, yeah, so it wasn't like a question of like whether or not it was right and wrong. Honestly, I would like give the advice to anybody that wants to tattoo to not do it the way that I did, because I was on like a really long road there, like trying to figure shit out. Like I feel like it's something that you're always learning, but I was definitely like kind of just spinning my tires for like the first few years, at least like the first like 4 or 5 years, I'd say, before I really started to kind of get the hang of it. And then another 5 years later, I thought I had it. And now it's 15 years, and I think I kind of got the hang of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
dude,
it's one
that's
of
what's
those
up.
things, you know?
Well, if I'm just gonna say something, man, when I saw your like when I met you at Tomato Tattoo and I saw your work that you did, I was like, I like it. It's got that really dark kind of like gothic, like that kind of vibe, like that sharp vibe to it. I really like that, and I thought, man, I like this guy's style. I like what he does. That's why I asked you to do a couple of mine. What's like you have any like crazy stories or people coming in with like if you're allowed to say that, like, hey, like what's like some of the crazier tattoos people have asked you to do?
I mean, shit, man. I've tattooed like almost every part of the body on people except for like a taint and a ball sack.
Wait. A ball sack?
The bottom of a foot. I've never tattooed a ball sack, a taint, or a bottom of a foot, but otherwise I've tattooed everything. I've tattooed people's genitals. I've tattooed butthole. I've tattooed like heads, faces, like entire backs, entire chests, you know. I mean, but yeah, man, I've had a lot of crazy requests for tattoos throughout the years. I mean,
pardon me.
I guess if I were to like,
go ahead. No, I was just gonna ask. Like, go ahead. You were just about to say if you were saying, I'll come back. But what were you gonna say was the worst one? Go ahead.
I don't think there was like a worst or best one, but like, shit, man. What's some of the weird ones I've done? I remember the first portrait I ever tried to do. Some of the tattoos, I mean, like, so the way I look at it is I really don't have room to judge people on if their idea is stupid or crazy or whatever. I got like a straight line going across my face, you know, probably some people probably think that shit's fucking stupid or crazy, but I think
that's cool.
I feel like most of the time when I'm doing crazy tattoos, it's stuff that me and someone else come up with and we actually just want to do it, you know, like the first time I tried to do a portrait on my homie, I did a portrait of Tupac with octopus legs. So it was like a Tupac-topus.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's octopus.
But yeah, I mean, like, I remember when I worked in Ybor City in Tampa, it was probably when I did like the majority of the crazier shit, I'd say, because Ybor is fucking crazy as fuck. It's just like, it's not like any other city I've ever been to, man. Like, it's like just that one street, everybody funnels to 7th Avenue, and like, it's just tattoo shop, bar, restaurant, tattoo shop, bar, tattoo shop, all that shit. And like, everybody's so fucking wasted just walking up and down that street, and it's a bunch of people from surrounding towns that aren't even from there. So it's like they don't really care what they're doing because they're not gonna bring it back home with them, you know?
Right.
It's like where everybody goes to fucking get loaded and make bad decisions, and get food. The food there is really good too. But I mean, I had a lot of drunk people coming in getting weird shit. I had this one dude come in and he got his dead husband's name tattooed right above his junk. I remember then, like, a couple days later, saw him come into the tattoo shop, and one of the other artists knew him, and they were talking, and the dude didn't even fucking recognize me. And then I talked to my coworker, that artist, and I was like, hey, I tattooed that guy like right above his dick before when he was like really drunk. And my friend's like, oh, that guy's like on the city council and shit. I was like, damn, that's fucking weird.
Holy
you know, like yeah, like you see all different sides of life, people from all different walks of life. Sometimes you find out, sometimes you never fucking know. But I mean, I did the surgery scar cover up on a person who is transitioning from female to male body parts, and they had gotten a surgery done. So for that surgery, they like cut the labia and they tuck one part under, and they like let another part hang over. And there's a little button underneath it that fills a tube with air to simulate an erection or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, but it's just different, I guess. I don't know if that's really my thing personally, but so yeah, I'm tattooing over the surgery scar. I remember that, and that was pretty intense. That shit was kind of fucking weird because I drew up an entire stomach piece for it, and I remember like I did like 6 or 7 lines on it. It was a big kraken taking down a ship, you know, with a bunch of like Japanese finger waves and stuff.
Yeah, that's smart actually for that.
Yeah. And then it was a tentacle that would go down onto the scar, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever. But so I did a couple lines, and they were freaking out, and they're just like, dude, I don't think I can do this. This fucking hurts. And I was like, well, you only got half of a wave on you. I don't know what you want me to do. And they were like, okay, well, do you want to draw up a smaller octopus above it? And I was like, sure, I'll just do that. So I drew on an octopus. I couldn't charge him as much because the tattoo wasn't as big. And then, like, I think like 3/4 of the way during the tattoo, like, their significant other came into the shop to start an argument with them. And I'm like, got this person's junk in my hand while these people are trying to have like an argument and shit. It was all awkward, man. Like, I was just like, you can go outside and like finish your fucking conversation and come back, I guess, because like this is a lot for me right now, you know.
I'm not gonna hold your new genitalia while you argue with your spouse.
Yeah.
That's not what the fuck. Damn.
And then
bro.
fucking I've tattooed my ex-fiance's butthole. That was pretty crazy, I guess.
Fun.
That was an Ybor too. The transition surgery scar was in Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
I tattooed what else is some weird ones? I mean, I've tattooed a fair amount of genitalia. Mostly people just asking me to do it, you know.
I'd imagine some people. I wouldn't imagine so many people get genitalia tattoos, but now you mention it, I feel like, yeah.
I mean, I tattooed my own dick, man. A couple times
dude.
now.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But
it's
yeah,
a dragon.
No, I did a inverted cross and then some dots on the head.
Nice.
But yeah, dude. I mean, people. I don't know, man. It's like, it's a way to express yourself, I guess. You know, tattoos and like. A lot of people are fucking weird, and they express themselves in really fucking weird ways. I mean, I've tattooed, you know, dicks on people, and I've tattooed, like, other people's dicks. I remember one time I did a tattoo of a Grim Reaper that was a dick instead of a skeleton. That was pretty fun. That was pretty ridiculous. I don't know, man. I think I'm just that dude in the tattoo shop where, like, when nobody else wants to do it, like, you ever see that fucking old commercial for cereal, that Kix commercial cereal, where they're like, give it to Mikey, he'll eat anything, you know what I'm saying? I'm Mikey, you know? And then they pass it to me, and then I'm tattooing it, and they're like, how's it taste? I'm like, oh, it tastes pretty good, you know, like, excited about doing it because I needed the money. That's, at the end of the day, like, that's the way I look at it. tattooing is first and foremost a job, a craft, and a trade, you know?
A job, a
And I'm
craft, and a
there for
trade.
I'm there to provide a service to people, you know? And
Fuck
like
yeah.
sometimes it can be like really rewarding, man. I mean, not even just crazy tattoos. Like you could do tattoos that'll like change someone's life for the better too.
Yeah. Hey man, I mean, not on like not on that level, but I mean everywhere I go, the tattoos that you've given me, everybody blows up when they see them, like, oh, that's sick, and I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah, hell yeah. The two I got
that's
from you,
awesome.
yeah,
See, and
man.
that's a great thing, you know. Like it's a
Mhm.
beautiful thing about tattooing. Like you could give someone a tattoo, and they could, because of that tattoo, they could have somebody start a conversation with them, and like they just met the love of their life, maybe, or like even like people that are like, I think the cool one is like if someone's like diabetic or has a medical condition and they wear a bracelet and they decide to get that tattooed on them, so in case they don't have their bracelet on and they're in an
Dude,
emergency, they can still show it to people. So like,
that's
shit, if some tattoos you could save somebody's fucking life, man.
fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. I remember. I remember. Oh, okay. Another question too, Alec. What's your take? Obviously, you've got plenty of them, and I remember you. I remember even when we were at the tattoo parlor, I asked you what's with the line across your face, and you said I'm tired because I'm tatted up to here with people asking me
Yeah,
about this tattoo.
yeah.
But
That's
but
the made
what's
up
your
line I got. I got a bunch of lines for that.
that's sick. What's your take on like the face tattoos? Like I just got like a small one, but like you got like, and a lot of people have these. What's your take on the face tattoos and everything?
So I'd say like nowadays it's a lot more prevalent for people to have facial tattoos.
Hmm.
Tattooing is more popular in the States than in other countries I've been. In other countries I've been, I kind of stick out like a sore thumb, you know?
Okay.
But in certain cities in the US, it's not really a big deal. But like when you get to a certain point of facial tattoos, like what I have, like almost 3/4 of my face tattooed, like definitely
Yeah.
changes a lot about like your day to day social activity and like just like the way people interact with you. But at the same time, it like kind of like protects you in a way from like the people that only look at the surface, you know, from like people that are judgmental or people that like can't really handle it anyways, you know.
Uh-huh.
And it also like if you get, I remember like this was something that this old ass tattooer like back in the day, like this he's like kind of like a legend in that DuPage County area. The shop Downers Grove tattoo this old dude named Ray. He's like this wizard looking dude. I remember he said to me when I was a kid, when I was like 19, getting tattooed at that shop, you know, if you
Hmm.
get like a tattoo that like a little bit more intimidating looking, when you're in a sticky situation, if you don't have a gun or you don't have a knife, you know, like, and you have that tattoo showing, like, people are still gonna think twice about fucking with you, you know.
Hell yeah.
So it can protect you in that way too. And especially face tattoos, man. Face tattoos makes other people think that you're a little bit more unpredictable, you know?
Hmm.
And it's definitely a more serious tattoo decision and a more serious display of that, you know?
Hmm.
So it's something that not a lot of people really want to fuck with. So it's kept me safe living in like any area, really. I could live in like the worst or best neighborhood in town and I'll be all right, you
Fuck yeah.
know?
Fuck yeah.
Um, but like, I don't know, man. Like back in the day, like when I first tried to get my face tattooed, it was hard to find anybody that wanted to do it. Even though I had been tattooed up to my throat, you know, and everything.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, and then I finally went to the same shop that I got my first job at. Before I got the job, I got my face tattooed. I got crying moon in the corner of my forehead. Here, hang on.
Okay.
I'm gonna get by some light really quick, so.
Oh, you're good.
You can kind of see. But yeah, here, hold up.
Okay, dude.
Grab some more water.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like so here you can kind of see it. It's underneath that like mummy, the Higgs mummy.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's a classic design by Dan Higgs. And the mummy and the fucking web and the spider on the side were done by Sam Belinsky in Milwaukee.
Hell yeah.
It was actually really impressive. He just like free-handed it all with one red Sharpie, just single line drew it on, and it fit like really perfect. But yeah, it was two separate sessions. It was when I was drinking at the time, and I remember killing a bottle of Patron for each session because it was so painful. But yeah, that was my first face tattoo, was underneath that. And it was done by this dude named Alan, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, it's weird how everything's connected with all this shit. That dude was like the cousin of another friend of mine that I wound up working with later. This guy named Chalk. And Chalk was from the Philippines. He owned a couple shops in the Philippines.
Okay.
I wound up working with him in Chicago. He tattooed the back of my neck and the back of my head, and he also did a Hoju on the side of my head.
Nice.
And now, oddly enough, we both wound up working in Las Vegas and moving to Las Vegas. And he was looking for a job, and I got him a job at the first shop I was at out here called Precious Slut. And
nice.
Yeah, now he's still over there tattooing. But yeah, I got it done from his cousin. I don't think his cousin's tattooing anymore. But I got the moon covered. The moon was a symbol for this music called Leviathan. It's made by Jeff Whitehead.
Yeah.
Who's another tattoo artist. And I figured if I was going to get the Crying Moon done, I was just going to get it done by Jeff. And then I wound up getting a bunch of other tattoos done by Jeff and never got a Crying Moon.
That's how it all happens. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was all fucking kind of weirdly connected. Like, you know, I feel like tattooing is really big now, but it's still small enough to the point where people kind of can find out about each other and know about each other pretty easily. But at the same time, it's like you never know the truth about a tattoo artist until you spend time working with them or getting tattooed by them.
Okay. Now Alec, did you always, because you said like you wanted a while back, you're looking about like EMT, did you kind of always have a look into being a tattoo artist, like even when you were a kid and whatnot?
I think that a lot of other stuff was pushed by my family. It was stuff they wanted me to do. I don't know if my parents wanted me to be a tattoo artist because they saw me tattooing out of my room in their house, and I'm only making like $30-$50 each time. That's not like livable money, you know, from tattoos. I mean, so I remember when I got my first tattoo, my mom locked herself in her room and cried for 3 days, man. Like, they weren't cool with tattoos for a really long time. And then, it wasn't until I got a job in a shop that, like, everybody was a little bit more supportive. I remember when I told my grandfather that I wanted to be a tattoo artist, he was like, don't throw in all the cards yet. Like, you could still find a job doing something else. You know, it was viewed more so as like something like for like delinquent people, you know. They were more conservative, and when they grew up, tattoos were more so for like, you know, bikers and drunks and Navy and military people, and then like prostitutes and like, you know, loose women or like people like that. Just like unsavory, salt of the earth type of people have tattoos in their opinion, you know? And a lot of that's changed, you know? It's not like that anymore. Now almost everybody's got at least one, I feel like. It's a lot more mainstream and popular, you know? The counterculture is now just another thing that everybody does.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then then they finally came around to kind of like, all right, you're like an actual like tattoo, like a tattoo artist, like you're supporting yourself. And like more so though, you get to travel and stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the beauty of tattooing. It's like within 15 minutes of anywhere you go, if you have your tattoo machines, you can make a tattoo, you know?
Hell yeah.
I've been doing a fair amount of traveling throughout the US, a little bit in Europe, Italy, Amsterdam. This year I'm going to visit Amsterdam, Belgium, and Germany. I want to see more of Europe. I want to see more countries outside of the US. I'd really like to go to Asia. I have a friend who I met in Amsterdam last year that has a shop in Bali, and he wanted me to go work out in Bali. And like, it depends where you go. It's like a little bit harder to figure out. Certain states or cities have different licenses. For Bali, I'd have to apply for a tourist passport before I even go, and then get like sponsored to work, you know. And I guess it's just more of a process. But I mean, yeah, you know, like you go to different states or different cities, and you might have to apply for a guest license for a few days or something like that. But yeah, no, it's awesome, man. I like traveling and stuff. I love meeting new people, connecting with new people, you know, sharing ideas and art and stuff like that with other artists, learning, growing, you know.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. Did you? Now you said, Alec, that you wouldn't like. You said that it was a lot harder for you back in the day getting started. So, like, what advice could you give to anybody trying to get into the industry right now?
I feel like the industry is very oversaturated. It's still growing, but it's still like, I feel like it's a bunch of tattoo shops opening from people that don't tattoo. Like, everybody has this idea that they're just going to open a tattoo shop and a bunch of money is going to start rolling in for them, you know? So I'd say, like, if you're getting into it now, like, you'd have to be like younger, you know, early 20s, maybe even a teenager, just because it's so competitive that, like, you'd have to, like, maybe be like an art school graduate or something, like, to like even be able to like do some of the shit that like people are putting out now. Like, it's just so different now. Like, now people are getting out of art school and picking up machines, or like artists that are like proficient in other media picking up these new machines that are making the process easier. Honestly, a lot of these rotary pen machines, and then they're just, you know, putting out these tattoos that are just like crazy as fuck, you know. But at the same time, you know, like there is like a technical application to it, and I have seen some people get into tattooing that didn't know how to draw, and they were some of the best tattooers I've ever worked with, honestly. I mean, I feel like I sucked at drawing when I got into tattooing, but I still really liked drawing, and I wanted to draw. I wanted to do art. So I'd say, like, the advice I would give would be that, like, Yeah, sure. It's a job, and it's a job where you can make a large amount of money fast, but that shouldn't be like the only vision that you have in your head with it, you know? And I feel like if you have some love of art and you're creative and you like to draw and you don't mind dealing with people, I mean, like,
it's a big one.
I feel like there's so many people tattooing and we already have like a bunch of fucking assholes and bullies doing it, you know? So if you want to get into tattooing, like, I genuinely hope that you're someone that wants to get into it for positive reasons and that you're like good with people in the sense that you're not going to just, you know, give somebody a shitty experience and make the rest of the tattoo community look bad, you know? I would say, like, just do it with some love for the whole thing, you know, for love of tattooing, and do it the right way. Get an apprenticeship, draw. Fucking, if you don't know how to draw, learn to draw, or just trace, man. Tracing too. I mean, I remember the first tattoo shop I worked at, I traced the entire fucking lobby, every piece of flash on the flash racks in the lobby, you know? Like, stuff like that, man, you know? Just like, it's not a hobby, you know? Take it seriously. Take it as seriously as you would like any other career. Treat that apprenticeship like you're going to a fucking 4-year university, you know? Absorb everything. Make sure that you listen. And I give that advice being like a terrible listener myself. And like, I was really egotistical and stubborn early on in tattooing. So I would say don't do that. Try to be humble and open-minded and try to learn as much as you possibly can and ask questions and listen. And yeah, man, don't be a fucking dick.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
It seems to be the thesis now with everything. Now, thank you, Alec. And before we start to head out, whatnot, I got one final question for you. 2 things. 1, what is your favorite thing about tattooing? Like, that you just makes you love it? And then, like, what's like your least favorite thing? Like, thing that you hate that you could do without?
Like, as far as like pieces to tattoo, or just about
or
tattooing?
anything, whether it be like, hey, I love the customers, or like, then the thing I hate is like, oh, I hate like people who want like stupid tattoos, or
the best thing about tattooing is meeting other people that are like-minded, connecting with other people that are like-minded, you know, and being able to provide someone a permanent piece of artwork, a permanent piece of myself in a way that, you know, makes them feel better about themselves or brings out a part of themselves, you know, externally, you know, permanently, so that they can like have like different or better experience with, you know, their social interaction with other people, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
It's almost like it's like a weird form of alchemy, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're turning water into money, but you're like applying sigils to people that, you know, imbue some sort of power to them in a way, I feel like. Whether it may feel like pretty or they feel tough, you know?
And then what's your least favorite part? Like do you get like something that annoys you?
I'd say my least favorite part of tattooing is I'd say there's 2 things. The first thing would be like the telephone rumor mill, he said, she said, just shit talking from anyone or other artists. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I got a big mouth, you know, but I'm starting to learn now, getting older, that like it's just not the move to just you don't talk shit about other artists. Don't talk shit about other artists' work, man.
Yeah.
You know, and then if like you do fucking say or do some fucked up shit, try to fucking rectify that in any way that you can. And then I'd say like the other thing is just like the fucking complaining, man. Like just so many like people in tattooing right now are slow, and they're all just kind of bitching about like the state of the industry. A lot of them are like older tattooers and stuff, but like I'm in that weird generational gap middle point where like I'm not necessarily the oldest tattooer, but I'm also not a new tattooer. So I get where a lot of them are coming from, and I get like that there was like a certain magic to tattooing, and there's not that same mystique, you know, that tattooing had. And when I started, or when I was getting tattooed, when I was 18 even, and that was like right after the fucking TV shows came out, and now it's just like, I get it, man. Like, I get it. I get that it's different. I get that shit's changed. I get that people have changed. The world's fucking different. But like, we gotta do something else, man. Like, I love tattooing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I really don't give a shit, you know, what happens. I don't think I'm ever gonna stop doing this shit. Ever. And I feel like as long as you're good to tattooing will be good to you. So if all you gotta do is fucking complain about the state of things, you know, then like,
what are you doing?
Might as well find another gig, man, you know?
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Good. Well said, Alec. Well said. Well, all right. My man, thank you so much for coming on the show and giving me about almost an hour of your time, man. We really appreciate it.
Hell yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Of course.
Dude, anything else you want to close with?
I hope that everything that I've said maybe reaches out to somebody and helps them in any way, shape, or form. And if anyone wants to contact me for a tattoo, to come to Las Vegas or to Revolution Tattoo Parlor, or contact me on Instagram, because I'm willing to travel if it's worth my while and all that, you know. And follow me on Instagram, Tattoos Made with Love. That way, you know, you can get a hold of me, and maybe I'll be coming to a city near you, you know.
Hell yeah. And I know next time you come to Chicago, I got some more work I'm gonna want done. So yeah, we're gonna get that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm